Good morning. My name is Eiichiro. I'm a 24 bigender person that uses he they she pronouns. I'm pansexual and hypersexual, though I try not to shove it in the faces of people that don't want to hear about it. I've been described as generous, though I have an issue with snatching things from people's pockets. All of my interests are from media, manga, anime, video games, music. I also love sport, but I struggle to find time to do anything sport-related in my own time. I think that's enough of an introduction, so let's go through my first day going back to university after a gap year. Though I mostly don't like school, I do like meeting as many people as I can. So I got ready quickly and headed out the door. The walk was tiring and not seeing many people made my energy and excitement dip drastically. So I approached the only other person there. I noticed they had ram horns on. A little weird, but it would make a good starting topic. No. They ran right past me. They were in a rush, so assuming they didn't see me, I followed them. Oh yeah. Maybe someone femme wouldn't want to be followed by someone masculine. Maybe people don't want to be followed in general. Life lesson, complete. An entire song later and some people showed up. Going to my right, I hoped and wished for these students to talk to me. I assumed these two people were talking, they weren't, but I went to the person at the back. Quickly I dove into a conversation about the stretches I had completely forgotten to do that morning. He didn't respond to that. Then changed topics. I didn't know what they changed it to as people collapsed right in front of us. This quote-unquote conversation wasn't going well at all, but I finally got him to stop and admit his love of sports. With my new acquaintance stopped and the conversation in my control, I stood silently. Unfortunately, they brought up Ikebana. So I changed to the most neutral topic, video games. Luckily and unsurprisingly, they agreed with my view. I gave them a chance to say something else, but they didn't, so I kept going. Some guy ran right into us. I made a mental note of him but didn't let it impact our conversation, though it seemed to upset my new friend Koshiro. While me and Koshiro were talking about my unhappiness, a red-headed person came and stood right next to us, as well as someone in a hat. There was so much information being spread and so quickly. I understood why Koshiro was trying to weasel out. I felt that on a spiritual level, but realizing a third person had joined, I stayed out of courtesy. But when a fourth came to replace me, I left as subtly as possible. Seeing the fourth person turn to follow me, I went over to a pink-haired person standing by themselves. They seemed to be reading, so I could definitely start with that. By the time I got there, they had put their book away, so I reverted to what I know. Though, as fate has it, they walked away. Forgetting my life lesson, I followed them. Luckily for society, just as quickly as I forgot, I remembered once more. My new game plan was to find someone coming late so I could talk to them about school sucking. 18 minutes later, no one had come and the pink person was back outside. So naturally I needed to shoot my friendly shot again. They didn't answer last time. Manga, don't fail me now. Damn it. They completely evaded my topic and now they're talking smack about video games? Come on, just tell me if you like manga or not. Okay, good enough. I'd say that was a successful conversation. Oh look, that guy with the top hat is back. I could have confronted him about earlier, but I spotted just the type of person I wanted to see. Not wanting them to get away from me, I cut them off and readied my anger. Just the reaction I wanted. Immediate response and agreeance. So I kept talking, trying my best not to lose them. They stopped for me. How nice. I found out their name is Zazen Izanagi and we are now bonded in shared hatred. How sweet. Unfortunately, that red-haired person from before was trying to physically insert herself, and on top of that she was trying to talk smack about music? I'm completely shaken. Izanagi, my new friend, also doesn't like music? This is devastating news. I need to complain about school, just to get them back on my side. Now the redhead is butting in again, with something I don't even care about. I kept trying to exclude her, but she just wasn't getting it. Luckily, the PA came on saying it was time for class. A group made their way in from outside and I picked up a few interests they were talking about. I finished my first class with only a bit of struggle. Everyone was just standing around, so at first I did too, but then I spotted the pink-haired person. Determined to know their name, I went over. I gave them time to start the conversation and I noticed someone standing behind me. I think she was in the group from this morning. She decided to insert herself, so I let her join in. Unfortunately, this person's presence made the pink-haired person leave. Luckily she, Yazawa Nishi, likes manga. After gym/health class, everyone stood around once again. I spotted Izanagi and went over to them. I was surprised they called me by my first name. I was only joking about being friends so fast this morning. So I ignored them and tried to find a topic. Izanagi, the redhead, and I would enjoy, obviously, video games. But it actually didn't go as well as I planned. So the obvious next step was manga, but the redhead, who I now know is Setan, completely ignored me. I had no idea what was going on in this conversation, so I decided to leave. Very much unfortunately, they decided to follow me. Speaking of following, I forget my life lesson when I see Pink and ran to talk to them. To my excitement, they started a conversation and about something I agree with no less. I learned their name is Kojiro Revy and that she uses they she. They were a bit faster than me and I almost stopped to talk to the person with a fake halo instead of catching up. But finally she stopped and we settled into our conversation. I learned a few of their interests and I think it went really well. Maybe if I approached them differently we would have bonded quicker, but for now it was time for class. Quicker than last time, I made my way to the friend I made this morning, Koshiro. But I made the mistake of letting him speak first and he walked away. Confused, dejected and hurt, I went to Izanagi for comfort and common interests. But then I heard two people from this morning talking about something I was really interested in. So I followed Setan outside to talk about it more, trying not to let others overhear. Though she was just running away out of embarrassment, but she went and talked about manga, my interest, to the person that ignored me this morning. Honestly, that hurt, but we got back to our original conversation. I feel like you can learn a lot by someone's favorite P category. I realized some of the teachers were watching me, so I dipped into the male bathroom. I'm allowed to use both, which is very nice of the school, but I prefer the males. I did some exercise trying to pass the time and calm myself down. It didn't really work and I knew I should be in class by now. I noticed my friend as I turned to leave, but my energy was far too low to even try talking to him. So I drank every liquid I held, trying to get enough energy for class. Class ended, the sky dimmed and I approached Izanagi. They called me I again and I smiled as a response. I told them that I'm glad the day ended but I'll see them tomorrow. And as I left I noticed a student teary-eyed. I didn't know them and tried my best to cheer them up. Music is a universal sound, right? Surely that will work. Or maybe it'll completely fail. On that note of failure, I set off home. There wasn't much to do at home. I played a dating sim. Had a shower. Didn't eat dinner and went to bed. I wake up starving. I know I don't have enough food to fill me up, so I head to school to try snatch something from an early student. Of course the girl wearing ram horns was there. I crept up behind them and picked them pockets. I only got a few things before they ran away. It was just enough. Well, sort of. I still had to eat some of my own food, but that's just balance. As I waited out the front of the school I thought of my morals. Stealing from people is fine, but following them in a public area to become friends is somehow look, people are here. I ran right to Koshiro, instantly starting a conversation about the newest game trailer. He responded instantly, which filled me with joy. We stood out the front of the school just discussing interests for a while. I confirmed Yoshiro is a cis male, but when it came to sexuality he got all flustered. I wasn't implying I wanted to do that with him. Well. And here comes Setam to get in the way. Okay, they aren't that bad, I'm just salty. When I turn around I see Yazawa. She and Setan seem to always be around each other. Maybe they're childhood friends, or maybe they have an alien mind link. No, that's just silly. Did you see that? Yazawa complimenting me? Nice, But I do not want to talk to her. Unfortunately, I am very popular and a crowd has formed. I spot that top hat guy from yesterday and decide that I'll test him. If he likes manga, he's in the good books. Good books it is. After this lovely revelation, I stand around with this guy, Meiji Sanetomo, just talking about manga. He's not as bad as I thought. Though as fate has it, I've had enough of him when he compliments the mask I don't have, and I decide to run over to a person who just arrived. They're wearing weird ram horns, but I don't let it deter me from questioning them about manga. They ignore me, but since they're late I work my charm of hating school. Of course this charm instantly works and we get a conversation going. Kojiro approaches me and I stumble over myself to figure out a topic both her and this new person would enjoy, but when I find it, it's too late. Not all is lost though, as I get some time to talk to Kojiro. Soon we departed as the PA called for our first class and I spotted these two talking. I loitered for a while, but Setan, unfortunately, took this as an opportune reason to follow me to class. I admit, it wasn't as bad as I act like it was. Once I completed all class tasks, I turned to Koshiro and tested my luck with his first name, and he accepted. My first friend. Now time to try make a friend group. Doing what I do best, I stood between Eiichiro and Kojiro and started talking about manga, showing them they could bond. Meiji also decided to join in. I wasn't exactly sure if I pictured him in my friend group, but I let him talk. Despite my mental issues, I am obviously more sociable than Kojiro and Eiichiro, but I don't know if Meiji is sociable and sane, and if so, he can't be in our friend group. But it's only day 2, so I should really be getting to class over judging people I may never know. All class I worried about what I would eat tonight, and as I ran out of the room I knew it would be whatever that girl in the back of the class brought today. I crept on the floor like a rat collecting food from people's pockets, and as soon as I was spotted, I scurried away. Meeting the ram-horned person in the hallway, I started talking about manga. I learnt their name is Rikyu. They use they/them pronouns and are currently between labels. They have a very pleasant soft-spoken voice. We did have a few interruptions, but nothing horrendous. Now, you've been watching me for a while, and while I bond one think we should chat about my past, not getting into it all, just a brief summary. I have recently, in some sense, ran away. Yes, I'm in my 20s, but I was being held at home and my 12-year-old sister is still there. She barely has a voice, so I'm going to get enough practice in speaking and enough money to help her. Eventually the last bell of the day rings. I'm still feeling pretty energized and am cocky enough to try pick the pockets of my one friend so far, but he runs. And so does Izanagi, right over to me, complaining of sports. I honestly forgot about them today. But just like yesterday, I complain about school, then head home. I'm stressed out of my mind when I get home. I bottle some water and drink it instantly. Then I sit on the couch to watch an inspiring anime. I take a shower before trying my hand at transcribing a video. The pay is horrible, so I turn to live streaming. I try to hype myself up before eating my stolen dinner right before going to bed. I woke up after a night of barely being asleep. I felt horrible, but I still ate my breakfast and went to school. I saw that weird ram girl, but needing the socialization I approached her. I stopped her at the gate and decided manga may fail me, but trying anime didn't show me any success. Come on, I just needed things to be easy today. I tried manga with little to no confidence, and like I thought, it didn't work. She went inside the school, so I decided to leave her alone. As soon as Eiichiro showed up, I run over to talk to him. I think he and Revy walked together. That's good, I'm glad they're bonding. Yazawa butted in, of course. I didn't pay her much attention, but I did notice she called me I. A lot of people have been. I wouldn't mind if Kojiro did, and obviously it's fine for Eiichiro too, but it's weird. I was getting very exhausted, so before class I ran to the shop to buy tea. I drank it when I got back to school, but it didn't help too much. After class I started joking around with Eiichiro and Yazawa, tired to butt in. It's actually getting quite annoying. My energy was very low on the way to art class, so I drank some tea. It's only the second class and I already feel like passing out. After class I really felt like passing out, I couldn't stay any longer. On my way out I turned to see Kojiro timidly following me. I wanted to talk to them, but mentally, I couldn't. I got into B and took a nap. When I woke up I knew a class was happening, I couldn't do it. I woke up at 6 to play video games, shower, watch anime, read, then go back to bed. Honestly, what a sad start to the weekend.
Hi, I hope you enjoyed the video. I really love this game and there's practically no content on it. You can follow me here and when episode 2 comes out you can find it here. Thank you for watching.